If the world were to fall into chaos and the undead began to roam the Earth, the frozen continent of Antarctica might seem like an unlikely stage for the apocalypse. It's the farthest place from civilization, a white wasteland of endless snow, blistering winds, and an eternal winter. But in the twisted logic of survival, isolation might just be salvation. Or it might be your slow, icy death sentence. Let us see whether this frozen hell could actually save your skin or turn you into a human popsicle before the zombies even get to you. Imagine this. The infection spreads fast across every continent. Cities crumble, governments vanish, and humanity's last tweets are filled with panic and bad grammar. The smart ones flee to the mountains, to bunkers, or perhaps to the one place no zombie could possibly thrive: Antarctica. A land so cold that even bacteria need a puffer jacket to survive. It sounds genius, right? Ice equals isolation. Isolation equals safety. Except, nothing in the apocalypse ever goes that smoothly. Let's start with the obvious advantage. Zombies are not exactly cold resistant. A human being without proper gear can freeze solid in minutes. What do you think happens to a half-rotten corpse wandering into -60°C blizzards? Their motor functions would grind to a halt faster than your phone battery in winter. Muscles freeze, brains turn into zombie ice cubes, and those creepy moaning sounds would probably become muffled grunts of frozen regret. Antarctica could become a natural zombie deep freezer. In fact, it might be the only place on Earth where zombie outbreak actually meets containment. But before you start packing your thermal socks and planning your polar fortress, reality has a few frozen daggers to throw. Antarctica isn't just cold, it's merciless. We're talking about katabatic winds that can knock you flat, ice crevasses that open like glowing blue jaws, and temperatures that can peel your skin like onion layers. It's not a land meant for life it's a land meant for research equipment and penguins. So while zombies might not be your biggest problem, frostbite, starvation, and loneliness definitely will be. First, logistics. How do you even get there? Commercial flights don't exactly land next to the South Pole. You'd need a ship or a plane, and both require fuel, navigation, and luck. The Southern Ocean is a monster with waves tall enough to swallow cargo ships whole. The world has ended. Don't expect cruise liners or friendly captains offering a lift. You'll probably have to hijack an icebreaker, and piloting that without a professional crew. Good luck not ending up as a frozen sculpture mid-journey. Let's say, somehow, you make it there. Congratulations, you've reached the ultimate isolation zone. There's no zombie for miles, no infected dogs, no angry survivors fighting over canned beans. Just the wind howling across the plains of white and the eerie silence of a world asleep. For the first week, it'll feel like paradise cold, yes, but peaceful. You might even get poetic about it. I survived the apocalypse in the last pure land on Earth. You'll write in your frostbitten journal, as the last ink freezes mid-sentence. Because now, food becomes your biggest enemy. There are no farms. No wild animals except penguins and seals, and both are protected by international treaties you probably don't care about anymore. But good luck catching them. Hunting in Antarctica is not about skill. It's about surviving in an environment where every breath hurts. Even if you find a research station with supplies, those are meant for scientists, not long-term survivalists. A few months, maybe a year, and you'll run out of everything: fuel, rations, vitamin pills, toothpaste, and hope. Of course, you might think of fishing. Ice fishing in the apocalypse, what could be more peaceful? But cutting through meters of ice, waiting in sub-zero winds for something edible to bite, and then eating raw fish for breakfast, lunch, and dinner while your body slowly develops scurvulets. Just say it's not the cozy survival dream you might have seen on YouTube. And let's not forget the mental toll. Humans aren't built for endless white nothingness. The polar nights stretch for months, where darkness becomes your only companion. Isolation can eat your sanity faster than any zombie bite. Even trained researchers lose their minds during the long winters. Now imagine being completely alone, with no internet, no sunlight, and the sound of your own breathing echoing in a world that has forgotten you exist. The silence itself can become a monster. Still, there's a weird beauty in it. The air so clean, it feels like breathing on another planet. The auroras painting the sky in surreal waves of green and violet. The snow dunes glittering like crushed glass under a moon that never warms. There's something hauntingly peaceful about surviving where almost nothing else can. Maybe that's the trade safety from the undead, in exchange for the slow unraveling of your own humanity. Let's talk about gear. To survive here, you'd need high-end cold-weather suits. Solar panels, because good luck finding gas stations, food rations for years, and possibly a small nuclear heater. Antarctic stations run on logistics miracles, fuel flown in, supplies shipped every season, maintenance crews working in shifts. You'd have none of that. Once something breaks, say, your generator or your heating system, means game over. No repair shops, no spare parts, no YouTube tutorials on how to fix your survival generator while your fingers are freezing off. But here's the fun part. If you can reach one of the old research bases, you might find treasure. Many are abandoned, but still structurally intact. Imagine setting up camp in a fully insulated lab filled with old equipment, fuel reserves, food packs, maybe even some communication systems. You could patch together a semi-functional mini-bunker. A literal fortress of solitude. With enough solar panels and discipline, you could outlast the chaos up north. When the rest of the world is crawling with undead, you'd be sipping melted snow and eating canned chili from 2003, laughing softly at the irony. The only catch: you can't stay forever. Antarctica is not sustainable. Eventually, supplies run dry and nature wins. When that time comes, you'd face the ultimate decision: stay and freeze, or venture back north, where zombies might still roam. It's survival Russian roulette. Let's consider one terrifying twist. What if the virus mutates? What if, through sheer cosmic misfortune, a ship carrying an infected passenger crashes near the Antarctic coast? The disease spreads, reanimating the dead researchers left behind. And now you're in the world's quietest horror film. Frozen zombies, moving in slow motion, cracking and groaning with every step. They don't sprint, but they don't stop either. They're relentless sculptures of death, unkillable by temperature alone. And with limited space to run, Antarctica turns from sanctuary to icy tomb. So is Antarctica good or bad for surviving the zombie apocalypse? It depends on what you call survival. If survival means not getting bitten, then yes, it's brilliant. No hordes, no chaos, no betrayal. The cold is your greatest ally. But if survival means living, not just existing, then Antarctica slowly kills you in silence. It doesn't rip you apart like the undead. It whispers you to sleep under the eternal snow. The real danger isn't zombies. It's time. The longer you stay, the more you fade into the ice, into the blinding white, until you're just another frozen figure in the wasteland. Maybe that's poetic justice, humanity fleeing its own warmth, only to find safety in a place where warmth can't exist. So, if the end of the world comes and someone asks, where do we go now? Antarctica might be the ultimate answer. But remember, it's one thing to survive the apocalypse. It's another to survive yourself. In the end, the frozen continent offers peace, purity, and death in the same breath. A paradise for the last soul alive, if that's what you want. And if you're still sane enough to appreciate it, maybe you'll look out at the shimmering ice and whisper, with a cracked smile, at least the zombies didn't make it this far. And somewhere beneath the auroralit sky, the wind will answer cold, endless, and silent.